Hi Tappers! Today I want to talk about something that sounds funny, but it's truly quite damning, and that's pre-disappointment. Pre-disappointment is a way to describe another side to tail enders with a bonus of secondary benefits. Not really a bonus. A tail ender is when we hold a boundary or disbelief to something that we have said in a tapping session that nullifies that statement. Money flows easily to me. That's not true. It's my birthright to be rich. It's my birthright to be poor, and so on. Secondary benefits is when something is first an issue, but secondly, a benefit. I would like to resolve this issue of having extra weight, but this extra weight keeps me safe from unwanted attention. Our community recently tapped on the secondary benefits of fearing success in a recent tapping circle. If you haven't joined us live on Tuesdays, check it out. Every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, I'm on this channel live for an hour of tapping for free. You and others put whatever you'd like to tap on in the chat, and that's how our session evolves. If you want to sign up for text messages to be reminded, click on the link. Or simply subscribe and hit the bell. This video is a slight twist on what is usually secondary benefits or tail enders, because pre-disappointment is a more aggressive approach for the brain to take. Typically, you already have a consistent negative outcome that is not shifting towards the positive outcome that you want despite any and all efforts. From this stance today, we are working towards achieving a positive outcome that we don't have yet in any shape or form, but seem to constantly be undermining ourselves in reaching. Does that distinction make sense? One is I have it and I don't want it, but subconsciously it benefits me. And the other, what we're discussing today, is I don't have it and I want it and I chase it constantly, but subconsciously I avoid it because it's dangerous for me to receive. This is important to see because if you have had a goal for a longer time than it likely should take to achieve it, this can be your way of discovering where your invisible walls are. Pre-disappointment, this is my own term, by the way, is when you decide ahead of time to be disappointed in the outcome. Such as, yeah, I can't wait to get up on that stage and make a fool out of myself. Hey, let's play a game so I can lose and be angry about it. I forgot we're having dinner with your friends. Guess I'm up for an evening of not relating and being ignored. Often when this appears, it feels like fact, and it shows itself sarcastically. This can come from many different roots, and they aren't exclusive. You could be operating from more than one life experience. My personal example that I've used before is doing the splits again. I used to be able to. I remember it felt really good, and I felt cool doing it, and I'd like to have that back. I've had that goal now for well over 10 years. And it's not that I forget about it. It crosses my brain at least once a week, if not much more. That is way more time than I need to accomplish this goal. So something is in my way of reaching it. As I've dug into it, what I have found is that nearly all of my limiting beliefs about myself reside in my body's performance. As long as my body is subpar in some way, I have a slew of beliefs that are protected from being challenged. For some reason, doing the splits is so freaking dangerous to my brain. It makes me a target for a lot of unwanted things. I don't know why. It's what my brain chose. It doesn't have to make logical or linear sense. And I've made progress on it, but I haven't reached a tipping point yet where I'm really able to do more than occasionally stretch. I'm sharing this to let you know it's not always quick and easy, and it can be a process, so don't be discouraged if that's what you find. You aren't alone. But let me give you something that has been successfully released. I grew up in a family that sang. We would even get together to sing, and for a few years, we even got a few singing gigs. I had the ability to hit really high notes. It was my thing. I sang in choirs, audition-only groups, contests, and I did well enough, but I choked back my voice a lot, and I was always unhappy with how I sounded. I was highly perfectionistic, so I attributed my attitude towards my voice to be that, just not good enough. It took me many years and insights, but I finally linked it back to the right memory, which was when I was very young and not singing, but crying, and I didn't like the sound of my voice. Once I released the live emotions that were attached to that memory, my judgment on my voice released very easily. It assisted me in my vocal lessons being more productive and in me having way more joy in singing. Up until then, every time I opened my mouth to sing, I was challenging this belief of my voice needing to not sound good to me. So even though I consciously wanted very badly and had a lot of support to achieve sounding good while singing, it was doomed to be angsty for me, no matter what. And I couldn't acknowledge any success with my voice, as it went against this deeply ingrained subconscious belief, and I was forever pre-disappointed. I never went up to perform where I wasn't already telling myself how embarrassed I was going to be, how disappointed I was going to feel, and usually even exactly where my voice would fail. And I was always right. And I also hated and judged myself for that because I knew I was doing it. It was a stinky, smelly pile of self-loathing that at the time I didn't know how to stop. Thankfully, now I do. So if you can relate, tappers, hit that pause button on all of the prejudgment and pre-disappointment spirals and instead get curious on how these feelings may be a backdoor way that your brain is trying to protect you. Become a detective on discovering what that belief is and release it from a place of support, empowerment, forgiveness, and acceptance for yourself. I hope this helps. I'll see you soon.